Hi, what's up, Rodg?
Oh my god.
Do you ever just get tired of me? Are you ever just like, how do I make this work?
Yes, all the time.
Ouch, but that's fine. That's fine.
Good evening to everybody for another episode of Herb and Rodg Unhinged, our Saturday night show where we kind of lay back and chill out, relax, hydrate properly, and just kind of talk about the week that was or whatever week or whatever was going on this previous week and anything new that popped up. But before we get started,
all I heard out of everything you said was hydrate.
Hydrate. Herb, to another week. Cheers and roll tide.
Roll tide. Great intro, sir. Great intro to the show.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Let's see who's all here. Welcome, of course, the one and only, the notorious. What other nicknames do we have for Jay Bake? Is that it? Just the notorious Jay Bake right now?
Yeah, because Jay Bake is its own nickname. You can't really improve off of that. Now, we did learn that his first name is Jethro. But
yes, Jethro. I forgot about that.
But Jay Bake is its own nickname, and he's a legend unto himself. You can't rename.
He is. And although we've never met him, I feel like if we got into a back fight in the alley, and keep in mind how many people actually really get into back fights in the alley. I think Jay Bake.
If you're not in a movie, I don't think it happens.
Yes. I feel like Jay Bake would be the guy that comes out the bar after a couple of beers and helps us out. Hey,
I also think Jay Bake will be the person who got you into that fight in the first place.
Yeah.
Jay Bake will get you into trouble and then fight you out of it and go, aren't you guys going to thank me? Like, that's what I think of when I think of Jay. Like, the guy that's fighting us is the guy you smashed over the head in the middle. Oh, come on, guys.
Well, we're
bringing up old stuff.
That's true. And we're looking forward to meeting you, man. I can't wait to do that. Zach Minger, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We're doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Yeah, appreciate you.
One half of the Alpha Pool. Kat is in the building. Roll Tide, thank you for joining us. Just got home. She's unpacking. I hate unpacking too. It kind of sucks.
It's the worst.
So, Herb, let me ask you this. Are you the person that unpacks the same day you get home, or do you wait?
No. So First off, don't let me have. Okay. So most of our trips that we've been on now, they have a washer there, right?
Okay. Right.
So I wash during the week and I put stuff back in there. So if I have dirty clothes, of course they go straight in, they get washed. But if the stuff in my suitcase is clean, first thought is, when is the next trip?
Yes.
Oh, the next trip's in a month. That stuff might sit there for a while.
Yes.
If this is the last trip for the year, it'll slowly get unpacked over the next month or two. But that day of, you'll be lucky if it makes it out of the car. That's as far as it's getting.
I will admit this. The past few trips I've gone, I've actually unpacked either the same night I got back or the day after. But these trips that I've gone they're short though, like 2-3 days. So it's not like long trips. It's not a lot.
Kind of like you.
All right. Shout out to that was awkward. Shout out to Big Mike. Thank you for joining us. He's the third member of the Herb and Rodg podcast, the behind the scenes guy. We all have the group text going.
The best looking.
Shout out to Big Mike. If you are a wrestling fan, please, you better be following the Run and Wrestling podcast. And today was Night of Champions or Day of Champions. Night of Champions. Yes. Mike, let us know.
Night of Champions for them, day for us.
But yes, Mike, let us know how Night of Champions was. What were the big matches? What did you like? What did you dislike, etc.
Yes. We heard from another source that there was it's worth the rewatch. I thought it was going to be tonight, and I thought I'd be watching with other stuff, but now I've heard that it's worth the rewatch. So, Mike, you concur?
Area Samuel, here is Rogers. Thank you for joining us. I didn't quite get that one, but we appreciate you for joining us. And Kelly, again, thank you for joining us.
Up, Kelly?
Shout out to Kelly on this beautiful Saturday evening. So, Herb, what do we have on tonight's docket? Where would you like to get started?
What's up? Rodg, let's throw out something random to get started.
Okay.
And then just to kind of break people into stuff that we haven't done, and maybe people haven't seen this from you, and then we'll go into our regularly scheduled program. Rodg's top 5.
Okay.
So, Rodg, so people, let's make one disclaimer. Most of the time when we do top 5 lists, 99% of the time, they are going to be Saban era lists.
Yes.
That's the list that Rodg and I were way more involved. We got here in 94. Okay. So we just missed the last Bama championship in 92, before Saban era stuff.
Yep.
Internet, not going like it is now. I know we talked to all this good stuff, so you weren't keeping up with it as much, and you just didn't have an outlet for things. We followed, but Alabama football was not really great during that time, so blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The reason why we go Saban era is because that's the era that most people can kind of relate to, especially if you're doing podcasts and such. So on another show, somebody kind of fussed at us because we didn't know a 70s era player.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, if I don't watch them, they're hard to. It's hard to call you my favorite if I never got a chance to see you play.
Right.
So Rodg, having said all that,
yes,
your top 5 favorites Alabama football players.
Okay.
It does not have to be Saban era for this because I think you have one that's pre-Saban.
Yes,
but I feel like the other 4 are going to be Saban era. But go ahead. Let's break in the new group, bro.
And again, since these are my top 5, I'm not putting them in any specific order. I'm thinking more of I'm going to go in order of chronological from starting with the early 2000s. Shaun Alexander,
right? Knew that one was on.
Yes, I'll go with Julio Jones. Tua is my all-time favorite Alabama quarterback.
So there is an order. Tua's at 1. So where are the other 2 favorites?
Okay. I don't know. So Shaun Alexander, Julio Jones, Tua, Devontae Smith, and God, the defense is so hard. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Minka. Minka's really, really high up there on my list. So I'll put Minka at 5. But again, when you give top 5 for Saban era, I mean for Alabama football, it's so hard. I mean, these lists can be these lists can go in any different type of waves, but I'll go with those 5 as of right now.
Why is Tua your all-time favorite?
For me, I feel like he did something to the Alabama offense that we hadn't seen in some time. We've had a passing game. Keep in mind, when we had A.J. McCarron, we had a passing game. Blake Sims, we had a passing game. Jay Coker, we had somewhat of a passing game, but his was just more unleashed, I feel like. And part of that is attributed to he was spoiled. Unhinged. He was also spoiled with the wideouts, Ruggs, Waddle, Smith, and Judy. So that was another reason. But I remember how excited I was watching him every Saturday just launch the ball. And I remember how well he played in some of the close games that we had. I always wish we could have went back-to-back in 2018 when, we went undefeated in regular season, blah, 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 won our bowl game, and then we came to the national championship game, and, we know how that went. But he's always going to be my favorite quarterback. And I guess the thing that started off with Tua was also the thing that just caught my eyes was obviously the game-winning touchdown in the national championship game against Georgia. So the 2nd and 26 play. So that's what started it. We continued on. Love him to death, man. Just excited. I'm just so happy for what he did for the University of Alabama. So, that's it. Devontae Smith is probably between him and Julio my favorite receivers. I like Julio's. I feel like Julio had a bigger impact as far as recruiting and what he did to kind of usher in the Saban era. But Devontae may have had a better, he had the Heisman and better overall stats. But what Julio did for the program in general was just jumpstart everything. That's just something that can't be unmatched. So that. And I don't think I named a running. Did I? Oh, Shaun Alexander, duh. So yeah.
I knew, I said, I knew Shaun was going to be the only pre-Saban guy.
Yeah,
for sure. So I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Mike? How are you doing, man?
Shout out to Mike. Thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you.
Sir. Mike and I had a little. We talked a little bit. Have you ever noticed that every other person we know is named Mike? That just tells
there's a lot of Mikes out there. It's a popular name.
God, and I'm already forgetting. What was the guy's name that was drafted to the Wizards? Trey Johnson from Texas. I posted that he looked like he was going to a funeral. When he got drafted by the Wizards, he went up like this. And then it didn't help that I guess he was wearing shorts up there on stage too. So he looked like a little kid that was being scolded by his mom. And I was like, he looks like he's going to a funeral. And everyone was like, well, I mean, he is going to the Wizards. So Trey Johnson, in about 3-4 years, we will have forgotten you completely. And
let's be honest.
Shout out to Trey Johnson, bro. We hardly knew you, man.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Like, we know about the Ace Bailey situation, how prior to the draft.
Does everybody know about the Ace Bailey situation?
You're right. I don't think everybody does. But Ace Bailey is a guy who recently got drafted, 4th overall to the Jazz? 4th or 5th? Great player that went to Rutgers last year. Good size, good shooting ability, great scorer. Prior to the draft, and Herb, correct me if I'm wrong, but prior to the NBA draft, his dad came out and basically didn't he give a list of teams that he didn't want his son to play for? Is that correct?
I don't know if his dad did it, but they talked about his representation. What they basically said was your teams that were in the top 5, obviously Mavs weren't in this group, but like Spurs, 76ers, Hornets were 2, 3, and 4, and I guess maybe the Jazz at 5 were part of this group. They basically would not work out for any of them. They didn't work out for anybody, but specifically told those people they were not going to work out for them, I guess. And then there was a thought that he was trying to steer himself to the Wizards.
Okay.
Which for reasons unknown. But that's basically what it was.
Yeah. So
which
with that
has to be one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Exactly. With that being said, he gets drafted to the Jazz. I'm not going to say he didn't look excited. He just looked pretty somber, just like it is what it is. But I guess my whole point of bringing that up is like when you get drafted, bro, just go look excited, play the part, do what you got to do, because you don't want to give this a bad look and you haven't even really entered the league yet. You know what I'm saying? You just got drafted. Everything you do, from the way you look and the way you carry yourself over the next few days, that's going to be documented and put on social media. So if you ever have to sign another contract with another team in the future, they may say, you know what, we like this Ace Bailey kid. He's a good player, but we just don't want to deal with that type of drama, if you want to call it that.
Right.
So
right. I don't think some of these guys realize what a privilege it is, and they really just do whatever. So it is crazy to think he wants to manipulate the process.
Exactly.
So. And I forget his agent. I think it was Sharif something that
Omari Cooper or something like it was. Yeah,
but Sharif Cooper he steered him wrong, and that guy was out of the league quickly. So
exactly. So think about your representation, and keep in mind when you get drafted, whether it's NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever. When you first get drafted, no one's expecting you to go somewhere and win a championship right away. You're just trying to establish yourself and just trying to let people know that, hey, I deserve to be here and I can ball. That's it. That's what the first 4 or 5 years of your career are going to be like. Maybe you make an all-star team, all-rookie team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you're just trying to establish yourself. So whether it's in Utah, Chicago, LA, just go. Make it look good. Do what you can.
Yeah. Right. I don't get the whole thing of like I'd work out for anybody. I don't care.
Exactly.
I just want to get drafted, you know.
Exactly. It's
you
a lifelong
more
dream
after you get there. Yeah.
It's been a dream since you were a kid. So just hey, I'm happy to be here.
Yep.
All right,
Mike. I didn't realize we weren't subscribed, so I just went and gave you 3 subscriptions, man. So
awesome.
Been cool interacting with you so far on X. We'll have to check out the show later, but. Just gave you a follow on there. So, there we go. He said checking in early for that. Yeah. I guess he said it on Twitter too. I don't know if we got that on. Anyway. All right, Rodg, to our main stuff that we said we kind of wanted to talk about tonight. We said we were going to give some love to the 3 stars that Alabama. First off, the star system is all crazy. No problem, Mike. Love you, man. Appreciate you.
Of course, Mike. No problem.
The star system is flawed anyway, because half the time, what do you always call it, Rodg? Whenever these 3 stars come in, they're going to be 4 why?
Say it again?
Yeah. These 3 stars that come in.
Yeah.
Mike, Rodg wants to know if you're sub to our channel. So we hope that you're also sub to us as well.
We're just messing with you, Mike.
Yeah. If not, anybody watching, please just give us a like and subscribe. It doesn't even take anything. There's no cost to it. Just give us a quick click. Subscribe, help us out. We're at 345. We want to spend this summer getting to 500. So help us out.
Yep.
Also, we're going to change our bio around. Go check out our TikTok. Rodg has been putting in a lot of work on TikTok. I think he's gotten us 200 more followers like in the last month or less. So keep rewarding his good. We got
a lot of social media goals that Herb and I are trying to hit. So we just need everybody's support, and we are going to continue to keep our foot on the gas. We have goals that we're trying to reach before the season, and we got it. We're going to get there. Mike, we're just joking around. We appreciate it though, Mike. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yes, we're on the YouTubes, TikTok, Instagram. We discuss. We're individually on Facebook. We don't have a Herb and Rodg on Facebook. That's something we discuss, but we'll see. We'll figure that out.
We got it.
Yeah.
All right. The 3 stars.
Yes.
First off, well, I was saying, what you say is going to happen to the 3 stars? They're going to get the Bama bump. Up to 4s anyway. So that part is already funny when you think about the system. But it's amazing when we post about 3 stars, especially on X, how many of the other fan bases come in, oh, poverty, you're having to get 3 stars. Like, your team's not going to be all 4 or 5 stars. Like, I don't even know if anybody realizes that's a possibility. First off, 3 stars half the time are 4 stars, but just, maybe not as many eyes on them. So that's already a fallacy there. Second, sometimes it just means those guys that are really good or physically gifted just need a little bit more training, a little bit more development. Third, you have to build in some 3 stars because those are probably going to be the easier players to keep and develop and bring up versus you get 10 5 stars, you're going to have to fight for your life to keep those guys 3 years. You know? So, no, 3 stars are already definitely built in. And I mean, I think you agree with me, Rodg. You have to. It's not like you're ever going to just stop. Like, a guy comes to you and you're looking at his tape. You're like, what's a star? 3. You're not going to just pass it by. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Exactly. No, you made some really, really good points. I feel like the 4 or 5 stars that does good for your recruiting numbers or your On 3 and your 247 and all those sites that rate recruiting. So you can brag to other schools and other people on social media that your team's doing better in recruiting. Right. One thing that we have to understand is that 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, your star ranking is not going to tell us how good you're going to be in college.
Right.
You can be a 4 or 5-star, come to school and things just not work out. Several factors can come into play. Maybe you're homesick. Maybe you're not getting the attention that you want. Maybe you just peaked in high school. Maybe you're not as good as you think you have. Or you think you are, and you have to put in some more work, and maybe you don't want to work as hard. It could be a lot of different factors. It just did not work out. 3 stars, to Herd's point, 3 stars might think the opposite. They might come in saying, "Hey, I'm a 3-star. I have a lot more to prove. I'm going to stay here, put in the work, go into the workouts, eat right, study the film, etc. And I'm going to become a better player." So 3 stars need to get the same type of love the 4 and the 5 stars get. And again, to Herb's point, if you're in the 2026 class and you're 3-star, there's a good chance you'll get the bump. You got another year. You'll get that Bama bump to get to a 4-star if that's how it works out.
I agree.
Yeah. So again, when you look at Bama's 3 stars, we've had guys like Eddie Jackson, Kareem Jackson, Will Reichard,
Jackson 5.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is probably one of the more famous ones.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs is a future NFL Hall of Famer, and that's we could debate that another time, but I think he's a future Hall of Famer. Mac Jones again. So 3-star doesn't mean anything. That's just your ranking coming out of high school. So
which, by the way, played into a first rounder as a running back, which is like getting increasingly harder and harder to do. And also won the rushing title. So
Yep.
No, the stars mean nothing. Like, I'm already looking at Camarion Johnson, right?
Yeah.
And I look on what Alabama 24/7 has him down, and they're like, oh, 3 stars out of Muscle Shoals. You click over to On 3, it says 4-star ranking. So that's what I said.
Exactly.
The ranking system is all over the place.
It depends on where you look.
Yeah, exactly. And just as an aside, man, Alabama in in-state recruiting is really killing it right now. So
killing it, absolutely demolishing it right now. We're super excited about what Alabama's done in in-state recruiting. And for those people that don't think you have to dominate in-state recruiting, that's letting you know that if you can't keep your players in the state, then there's something wrong. If players want to go, because a lot of players, let's be honest, they want to stay close to home so families, their friends or family members can come see them play. So they want to stay here at home. They just want to know if they're going to the right program. Alabama's doing a good job at it. We still got a couple more on the list. We recently got, I think yesterday, got Zay Hall in, 3-star linebacker from Hillcrest in Tuscaloosa.
That was a nice little pickup too.
Nice pickup. He's got some good size. So I can imagine that maybe, I'm pretty sure he'll put on a few more pounds before he gets to Bama. And even when he gets to Bama, they'll make him put on 10, 50 pounds of muscle, whatever the case may be. I know one of the guys who's not necessarily in-state recruit. Although he does have, his mom has Bama ties, is Xavier Griffin. That's the big name we're looking at for tomorrow. His recruitment time was, I think it's 1:45. Like Central Standard Time. Let me double check that just to make sure.
While you're saying that, then Rod, while you're looking at that, I do want to mention, because I kind of want to keep it on 3 stars. JJ Finch, out of Indiana.
Yep.
6'3", 260 D line. That's a 3-star.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, I was in a group chat, and like Raj and I are not film guys. We kind of rely on other people to take questions, but a couple of the recruiting analyst guys looking at his tape, they love this kid, especially once the coaches get a hold of him. They can improve his technique a little bit, but already a mauler. I think if you were on X, you saw on Twitter. Excuse me, I'll never call it X. On Twitter, you saw his tape of him just rushing a offensive lineman into the ground. Like, dude just looks like a future star. And you look at it, like I said, he'll probably be a 4-star by the time we get to next year. But I already love him and already love his tape. So that was a great pickup. What do you make of the fact that 5 of the 6 3-stars already are on defense?
I love it. I absolutely love it. We know that after this year, several of our players are going to go to the draft. Excuse me. So we're going to have to reload and retool. But I like the fact that we're getting these D linemen in. I say that because the majority of the time you look at recruiting, we're getting all the DBs. The past 1 or 2 years, we're getting all the DBs, the corners, and the safeties. But I'm like, dude, we got to get those guys on the front 4. And sometimes when you look at recruiting, a lot of those guys tend to go to Georgia. And I can see why. He's got Kirby Smart over, who's one of the best defensive lines in college football. But we need him at Bama too. There's going to be room there. So I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to it. And again, to your point, it's players have to go. These kids in high school, you need to go to where you think you can be developed the best.
Yeah.
Now, with the NIL era and transfer portal, et cetera, we already know what some of the questions are, like how much am I going to get paid and blah, blah, blah. But it used to be, hey, I know Nick Saban. I know what he can do for me. I know Nick Saban and Kirby Smart there. I'm going to go there. I could develop as a player there. So then when I get ready to go to the NFL, I'm good to go. Nowadays, players just go go to schools for whatever reason may be. Maybe they just want to play right away. And just because you play right away, I mean, what if you're playing for a team that's not good? That could be very well be the choice there. So
Raj, one of the things you mentioned in there, excellent point, the development, which is why sometimes. All right, so as a 5-star, right? There's a lot of these guys who are 5-star. It doesn't matter where you go. You're going to be great. I never like to mention his name, right? Caleb Downs.
I know.
It didn't matter where you went. Caleb was going to be a top 5, top 10 pick in the NFL draft, no matter where he went. He could go to Miami of Howard for 3 years. It really didn't matter. What's our guy that just oh my God, what is up with me and names tonight from Colorado?
What do you think of
Heisman? They just won the Heisman in Colorado. Travis Hunter. Like I said, my names are bad. Maybe it's the liquor. Travis Hunter. Go to the HBCU, first. Then you go to Colorado. These are not great places as far as exposure. But because he was a great player, he was always going to get where he needed to get to. So some of your players, Kat, I feel dirty that I even said the name. It won't happen.
It's hard, but I mean,
my point is, if you're a 5-star, there's a lot of times it doesn't matter where you go. You're going to be fine.
Right.
If you're a 3-star or maybe on the edge of a 4, your development is what's going to get you to the next level. Exactly. You have designs on it. And too many of these guys are doing short-term money versus long-term development.
Yes, I agree. To your point, if you're a 3-star and let's just say you go to Bama, cool. You might go up there and say, okay, I'll look on the roster and look who they're recruiting. I may not start right away, but give me 1 or 2 years development, get things down packed, my body right, and I'll make a force. So, and I'll make a name for myself. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And one of the guys that Herb talks about, this might be a good mention. This guy was not a 3-star coming out of high school, but he's been at Bama for a few years. And Herb talks about him and asks about him all the time. Is Keon Keeley. Herb is always asking about Keon Keeley.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just playing. It's usually me.
I was going to let you go.
But Keon Keeley was a 5-star out of high school who hasn't really got a lot of playing time, but we're looking forward to see what he can do. But he's been patient. He's been waiting. So I'm assuming he'll get some playing time this year, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Good name though there, but yeah.
Yes.
And look, we have to say this though. If I was 16, 17, 18, and somebody's throwing out the money that they're throwing out, I get that it's going to be tough to turn down. Hey, this guy's willing to pay more. Let me go there. But sometimes you do have to think long term for short term.
Yes.
And you're just not seeing enough of that.
And the thing is,
we just had 69 people viewing, and we moved up to 71. I don't know if I'm happy or sad.
I'm all right.
Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
And again, I was thinking, like, how much money are they being offered? Like, how much do you need as a freshman in college? Because I'm thinking back in the day, a lot of these kids didn't really have a lot of money anyway. You had a scholarship, and most of the stuff you wore around campus was whatever was issued by the team. So you didn't have a lot of money. So kids nowadays, like, what are they asking for? Oh, I need an apartment. I need a car. I need, like, bro, do you really need
Sorry, Kat, I gotta be me. I honestly, Rodg, I think they're trying to get as much as possible.
Wait. I actually just realized what you said and why Kat. Oh gosh, I'm so slow.
Did you not get it when I
did not get it when you first said it. Oh.
Is that the delayed joke?
That was a delayed joke. Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Mike must have left us because you asked him about the Night of Champions and he just took off. There must be a wrestling show.
Is it still on? I thought it came on during the day.
No, it had to come on at noon. It can't be possibly on.
Okay. So, all right.
Money properties. Yeah.
Yep.
I think for a lot of them, it's the possessions too as well. I also think their families, because you're seeing a lot of players end up going where you're also taking care of their family, or their family can come along on the trip, or their mother or father or uncle is in their ear. So there's a lot that goes along with it, you know. And like I said, look, we haven't been in that position. Nobody was really clamoring for the Herb and Rodg podcast to come to like 4 or 5 different networks, right? So
they will be,
you know, they will be, but we haven't been recruited, so we can't just say, oh, we would turn such and such down. But they're in a tough position. You know, this guy's like, here's $500,000 and we might get you to the NFL. This guy's like, here's $750,000 and you can play next year. You might be like, ooh, more money and can play sooner, or even if it's for a terrible team. So I don't know. I doubt most of them start looking up stuff like how many top 5 linemen have you ever sent in the NFL, right?
Right. I don't. Yeah. So.
All right, moving right along.
Before we move on.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I gotta pour it then.
Yes. That's how it works.
That's how it works. I should throw something at you. Oh, by the way, Rodg, some of the family will be at the house next week. So there might be some shirtless people popping up on the podcast Saturday night.
No thanks.
All right, what's the toast to?
To Xavier Griffin. Xavier
Griffin tomorrow.
Hey, commitments tomorrow at 1:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right now we're under the impression he's a heavy lean towards Bama. And there were
Outsides is actually going to have an interview.
That was it. The Way Outsides group. Shout out to the Way Outsides group. They're going to have an interview with him. I guess he's going to jump on after this commitment. So
right, Kat, are you for it or against it? Roll Tide, everybody. Because this will determine how I show up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, here's an impression. If Rodg and I had an interview with a Bama recruit and we had already signed it, and keep in mind, Way Outside signed this because they've got a good relation with the kid. They cannot guarantee his commitment, right? So this is me. If we had an interview with a kid right after his commitment and he committed somewhere else, I'd be like this.
Yep.
So, really?
This is what we're gonna do?
No, that's cool. Okay. So you just don't care, right? Yeah, exactly. Why did you agree to come on here in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just obscurity for the next couple years? Cool. Okay. How much did they pay you? How much?
That's what I would want to. I would try to ask the most uncomfortable question. How much they offer you any money or a car? Yeah. Oh, okay. Not that I can't. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
It would be terrible. So hopefully that works out. Seriously depends means yes. All right.
Yes.
Topless Tuesdays on the show this next Tuesday.
Okay. So, all right.
Keep in mind, programming notes. We have 5 weeks in July.
Yes.
We have 3. Sorry, my wife. I can't even front. That was funny. 5 weeks in July, and we've had 3 scheduled guests.
Yes.
Vanderbilt, which I never thought we'd say.
I know.
We will be discussing the Pythagorean theorem on that Tuesday. and how to do your taxes. We may discuss football. Auburn. And who's our third? Vanderbilt? Auburn. Are you going to try to go to the we're still trying to get
you said in July, right? We got Auburn, Vandy, and Florida State.
Florida State to end the month. I forgot.
Florida State will end the month, and that's at the perfect date. The last part of our summer series, unless we add some more in August, but we're probably not. So, yeah.
August will be a preview series.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right.
Before we get started, I want to give kudos out to Herb, my brother. Herb was the one who came up with the idea of the summer series two years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, and we had again reached apart. We were still newly doing the podcast thing, and he just said, "Listen, dude, what if we just talk to other people from other fan bases?" And I didn't quite. I knew what he meant, but I was like, "Man, I don't know if anybody else is really doing that," but it was his idea to come up with this, and we started bringing other people on throughout the summer to kind of fill the gaps. It was a great idea. Kudos to my brother Herb for coming up with the idea. I love you, man, and yeah, that's all. I just want to give you your flowers right quick.
I appreciate it. You know, everyone has egos, right? And once we started seeing some other people do that, we were like, okay. So I have to give kudos. Thank you, Kat. Yeah. I honestly, we've enjoyed it. We've been lucky too. I mean, 2 years of doing it. This last year has been the most tumultuous as far as getting our guests to show up. But in 2 years of doing it, we've probably maybe had one guest where we were like, all right, we can't do that again. Everyone else has been gracious, has showed up. Oklahoma and LSU have probably been two of our favorites, but I mean, I hate singling out people. Everybody has been it's been a really good show. Some of those people stay in touch with us, so I've enjoyed it. And let's be honest, guys, we know we love Alabama football, but there's not a whole lot of topics every week during the summer.
Right. We keep up throughout the summer, especially it can be recruiting and stuff, but there are some even downtimes in recruiting when a player will come out and say, "Hey, I'm not going to commit till July 4th." So you're like, "Okay, until July 4th, then what are we doing? We're trying to fill in the holes." So again, kudos to her for coming up with that. We appreciate you, man, and we're looking forward to continuing the summer series throughout July.
Yep, I'm looking forward to the rest of it, Rodg. All right, so we've been following Cole Kubelik's series, right? Where he breaks down his top fives in several different positions or whatever. What did we do last week? Was wide receivers for Alabama. His ranking was number 4 in the SEC. Let me finish finding this.
Mine right now. So we got. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So this week we decided we want to kind of go through his series where he's talking about O-line and running backs, and specifically Alabama's rank in the SEC for both of those groups. Okay, especially since they go hand in hand. Now we saw the PFF group, right, where they had Alabama's number 1, and I think we both disagreed with them being ranked number 1.
Yeah.
For O-line in the SEC, he went Georgia, Texas A&M, Auburn, Alabama, Florida. So your first thought when you saw that, Rodg, were you surprised to see us at 4?
Yes, and I was also surprised to see Georgia at 1. I felt like Georgia's O-line was going to take a step back. I would be more comfortable seeing or more familiar with seeing Georgia at 1 for maybe defensive line, but not offensive line. Right. I feel like with them losing a couple of guys last year, they would probably be a little lower down the list. Excuse me. So I was surprised at that, but then again, I don't want to see us number 1 on any list. To be honest with you, I know PFF ranked us pretty high. If you look at the college football 26 EA Sports video game, they have us ranked like as the highest ranked team. I don't want to see us ranked that high on anything. I like us lower down the list because I want to see us crawl back to the top. I feel like we have the potential to be number 1 in a lot of these areas, but I don't want to see it actually on social media. So anyway, I was surprised to see Georgia at 1. And again, this is no dig at Georgia. They're just more known for being, a better defensive team. Surprised to see A&M at number 2. Auburn's ranked ahead of us. Auburn's ranked number 3. I watched the Way Off Sides guy interview Auburn Anonymous the other day, and apparently they're high about their team. So apparently there's supposed to be some good things up here in Jordan Hare. Again, Alabama's number 4, Florida's number 5. I know Florida has a good offensive line and defensive line, which is why I think I picked them to win several 8 to 9 games this year. Of course, if Lagway can, stay healthy.
If Lagway can do what?
Take the team a long way. Yes, I did it. So, I don't know. Surprised to see us at 4. I am surprised to see us 4, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yes, he was a center at Auburn, but I will say this: I don't feel any bias when I listen to his list. When you
me either.
Sit and watch the whole list, he gives up. He gives great points for each one, and he talks about it. He names names and gives specifics. So I feel like I trust his list. I don't feel like it's a Danny Cannell sort of situation where he's just going to exactly. I agree with this. When you watch his videos and watch it the whole way through, whether you agree or disagree with his rankings, you don't feel like he's doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was something else.
Anonymous, or do you want to let it go?
We'll let it go for now. We'll let it go for now. But Kat, we feel the same way you do. What now?
Yeah.
I wonder who posted that. Yeah.
Ours is EFC, I think, is what's coming on for Auburn. We had a good time with him last time he was on here before the Iron Bowl, so we're looking forward to that again. But there was a lot of Delulu in that Auburn one. But that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Also, Raj, something else we're not going to talk about. The best thing to happen this past week on Twitter was a fight between two Alabama personalities. But no names will be mentioned.
No names. When we first found out about it, Herb and I talked. I said we just let that play out the way it's going to be. We have no issues with anybody here at the Herb and Rodg podcast. We love everybody. So
yes, we love everybody.
We're gonna let that figure itself out.
I don't know why I keep tapping the drink. That's only supposed to be for the shot. So
yeah. Exactly.
So it's interesting what he mentioned on the video, especially specifically with Alabama. Parker Brailsford, did mention as top points there. He mentioned that he didn't think he had a nasty side to him at Washington.
Okay.
He thinks Tyler Booker last year helped bring that out of him. So he loves.
I like that.
He loves.
I like that.
Yeah, he loves that. He loves our guard position. Honestly, he had tackle questions. I mean, every time we talk about line, Proctor is what comes up.
Right.
Does he need to lose a little bit of weight? Does he need to slide inside?
Right.
Can he handle left tackle for a whole season? This guy, it's almost like his grade is either going to be 100 or like 50, and there's like no in between for him.
Right.
And that's what we get from him.
Proctor is a huge human being. He's done good the past 2 years, so I'll give credit to them. I don't know if he needs to lose any more weight to kind of work on his lateral movement, but I mean, again, if you're doing good at the way you are, then I would say keep it and maintain it, because when you go to the NFL, you might need that same type of weight to kind of stand out in the league. But to all these points, I mean, I'm looking for big things from our offensive line, excuse me, this year, because I'm also looking for big things from our run game. And obviously, if you have a bad offensive line, your run game's not going to click. So if our offensive line can remain as strong as they're supposed to be and hyped up as everybody is hyping them up to be, then we're going to have a very, very nice, balanced offense in 2025.
Hips don't lie. See Proctor on the line doing this. Oh, it's working in, baby. Oh. No? Okay. How about this other one? Summer is definitely good for drama when everybody starts firing.
That's true. True.
I mean, fair.
And shout out to Shakira. Shakira, if you just happen to be out there, tune into the Herb and Rodg podcast.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Anyway. Yes, Mike, it is year 2.
I don't think most people realize it's year 2. You have some people thinking it's like year 5.
People, Mike, are under the impression that if DeBoer doesn't do well this year, that he needs to be on the hot seat. And I'm like, who else do you plan on getting? Because once Saban left, it wasn't easy to get DeBoer, and he's filling in a lot of shoes. So, Mike, our goals and our estimations for year 2, I know for year 2 are for DeBoer to go 10-2 and make the playoff. Bottom line, you got to make the play. Even if you go 9-3 and somehow make the playoff, we have to make the playoff this year.
Yeah.
In order to see some sort of progress, or else people in Tuscaloosa. Go ahead.
No. I'm interrupting. Finish. Go ahead.
or else people in Tuscaloosa are going to go crazy.
Yeah. Let me ask something because we've been talking about recruiting, and by the way, we'll get to the running back part of this.
Yeah,
this was a subject I something I proposed for the show tomorrow night. I don't think it's going to make it.
Okay.
Let's say this run increases.
Hold on. Let everybody know what show tomorrow night. So you.
Talking Bama on the Bama Standard Network. 7:00 tomorrow night. JT, JB, sometimes Stephen M. We talk about strictly Bama stuff. I propose this as a topic. I don't think it's going to be talked about tomorrow night. So I'm going to propose it to you instead because we do whatever we want to on the show. Let's say this run continues because you got Xavier Griffin tomorrow. You got Cedarian Morgan is Wednesday, right?
I believe so.
Right. I mean, the prospects that are left are enough to propel him not just to a top 3 or the top class, but maybe a top class all time, right? Okay. Let's say he signs that top 3 class last year, number 1 class this year, and then Alabama goes 8-4. What does that mean for his job security?
It means a lot because it means that he's not developing the players that we're getting in. You can't get in 4 or 5-star talent and then end up 8-4. It's kind of like when. Okay, I'm sorry.
But if he signs a top class, none of those guys will have played in the 8-4. So you can't count that against him yet.
Oh, you mean if he goes 8-4 this year?
Yeah, if he goes 8-4 this year.
Okay.
What does that mean? And what's up, man? It's good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you.
So what does that mean? All right. Year 2.
Yeah.
He had a top 3 class last year. He could have the number 1 class this year. But none of these guys factor into this. This very year that we have coming up, he goes 8-4. What does that mean for his job?
It means a lot. It means a lot because for the guys who verbally committed,
there's a point for you too.
They're going to think about going elsewhere. The guys that are verbally committing this week, the first and second week of July, and so forth and so on, they're all under the impression that Alabama is going to have a bounce back year because when they go on these recruiting trips, a lot of the players that are on the team now and a lot of the older players are saying, hey, things are going to be a lot different in 2025. So you have to prove it on the field. So if you go out here and get 8-4, some of these guys will be like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to Georgia. I'm going to go somewhere else. You have to show it on the field. You have to show it on the field.
If you let him go, then everybody can leave.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
You got to balance that. So
that's true.
You think number 1 recruiting class, you still got to get to 10-2, right?
Yes. Okay. You have to show improvement. 10-2 making the playoffs, or even 9-3 making the playoffs is the big part. You don't have to win your conference. That's proven. We found that out last year. You have to make the playoff to show improvement. That's it. You have to make the playoff this year. We have the talented roster. Ty Simpson will prove it at QB. I can't come out here and say that Ty Simpson is going to be the best quarterback in the country. We've barely seen him play, but he's going to have all the weapons and all the coaching around him to be successful.
Agreed.
So we have to make it to the playoffs, and that'll be enough to help out with some of these recruits. Now, who we play in the playoffs? Of course, that's going to be determined later in November, December, and how far we go. If we can make a deep run in the playoffs, that's even better. But you have to show some sort of improvement.
Yeah. I agree. I just thought it was an interesting one. And like I said, I proposed it. I don't think we're going to talk about it. Yeah. So
that's a good point. And I think another thing some of these recruits want to see is, are we going to play like the Oklahoma game, the Tennessee game? Are we going to have games like that? Like if we go out here this year and lose 1 or 2 games and we play good games, it is what it is. But if we go out here and we just play awful and our game scheme doesn't look right, the game plans don't look right, and we're just not in sync, recruits are going to see this and they're going to start thinking like nothing's really changing there. Like it was all talk.
True.
Just putting that out there.
Yep. No, good point, Rodg.
Yep.
So there's a couple things that if we win the Natty. First, the most important thing, if we win the Natty, Bama Beat has to come on the show and choose between me and Rodg. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Second, if Alabama wins the Natty, whatever TikTok dance our listeners pick, I will do.
Okay.
That's the dance moves that get bust out. So.
Okay.
Kat, this is where I think 1,000%. Year 2, if he goes 9-3, misses the playoffs, and everyone tries to get rid of him,
Yeah.
With the recruiting classes that come in, I understand what people say. It'll be harder to keep them. It's going to be a lot harder to keep them if he fires them. Because if they fire him, because then everybody can choose whatever they want, and
everybody's
people will
gone.
be trying to pick us apart. You don't know what from the coaching staff you lose. Like, just imagine all that. So I don't see that. But yeah, I didn't think the calls for firing. Was I frustrated last year? Of course, but I didn't think it was all on him last year.
But it was year one. It was year one.
Yeah. So I don't think that's it. So.
And last year, DeBoer was playing with Saban's players too. He didn't recruit these guys. He was playing with what he was dealt. And he did the best he could. We're 9-4, which is not, again, some schools when you go 9-4, you might get a raise and extension. Yes. Of course, Alabama it's seen as a down year. Yeah. But I think we'll improve this year.
Yeah. Kyle, tell me more. I know I've seen some joke posts about that, but I didn't know that anything was serious. So either tell me more, or link me in, or we'll look it up here in a minute. So
yeah.
And look. Do I think much of Hugh Freeze coach-wise? No. Do I want health to ever play into anything that happens? Right. I never wish health issues on anyone. We never wish injuries on anyone.
That's true. That's
true. Don't care about that stuff, and that's serious stuff, not to be played around.
And Kyle, thank you for joining us, man. Again, we appreciate
it. Definitely good to see you tonight, man. Definitely good to see you tonight. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
So we talked about the O-line part of it. A lot of it seems to center on Proctor. For sure, if this group can reach their full potential or not, right? The other part, running backs.
Yes.
So that group went Florida, which, by the way, Florida was tops in his running back group and number 5 in his O-line, so that could bode well for them this upcoming year. Florida, Texas. It surprised Texas number 2 in the running backs and not in his top 5 for O-line. So you do wonder, I guess, with the turnover. Well, with the turnover, I think that's happening. But he does mention, because I think the running backs was second, that these two things go hand in hand. You could have a top 5 group, but if you don't have the O-line, it doesn't really matter. Texas A&M, which, again, Texas A&M has been high on a couple of lists that we've seen. Number 3 running back group, number 2 O-line group. You know, there's potential there. Yep. Then Alabama and Georgia. So Alabama came in at the 4th spot on both. Super high on Jam Miller. Cole Kubelik is.
Good.
My personal thought, Rodg, I love the versatility and depth in this running back room.
Yes.
And one thing that he mentioned in this video, you don't have a quarterback taking like 90% of your runs.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
exactly.
Run with it.
No, you're gonna be able to see what exactly our running back room can do this year. And to Herb's point that he just made, Miro's not going to be holding a lot of these snaps. Ty Simpson is gonna distribute the ball much more than Milroe did. Jam Miller is he's a good runner with the ball. He's physical. He's got some good speed on him, and he can catch. We've seen a lot of the wheel routes that he caught against Georgia in these championship games. He can catch the ball too. We've got good guys, Richard Young, Daniel Hill, AK there. We've got a good running back room, a running back core. We cannot wait to see what they do this fall. But you're just going to be able to see a lot more versatility on display because they'll have the ball in their hands much more than they did last year.
Agreed.
I know one question that's been floating around is will Jam Miller have a 1,000-yard season? When that question was first proposed to me, I said no, but he'll get close because I feel like a lot of the damage is going to be done in the air between Ryan Williams, Isaiah Horde, and the Germinator. But Jam will have much more rushing yards than he did last year. And then, of course, at Alabama, we don't have one main guy. We have a good running back, but then we have 2 or 3 behind that. So the ball is going to be distributed back there. So the running back will look good. The running back room will look good. The running game will look good. Our offensive line, as long as they stay healthy and block, that's going to lead to bigger, better things. And let's be honest, for those that don't know, Ty Simpson is a dual threat quarterback. So between him passing the ball, handing the ball off to our running back, and then him scrambling the ball, we're going to have much more of a threat on offense than we did last year.
Yeah. I think Ty, like what you saw from Will Howard, he's not going to be our primary runner, but he'll run enough to keep you honest.
If he needs to. Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, he said somebody said that yesterday. I know prostate cancer in February was the diagnosis, but he seems to be managing it well. Side note, our dad had prostate cancer and had to go through that. Get your screenings, guys.
Yes,
I know it's kind of an overlooked thing. Once I hit a certain age, I've been having mine every year. I'm due for mine in a couple weeks. I got to get in there, but get your screenings. It doesn't take long. Appreciate you, Jay Bake. Once again, man, we kid with you, man. We are looking forward. I know he's probably already gone, but we're looking forward to the Tallahassee trip and getting to hang out with you, man. So
we appreciate you all. Yes, man. Have a good night, man. But be careful.
Kat, I'm gonna save your question for a minute because I just pulled up their schedule. Oh, I love the Bama Standard Network, man. We always
cultural icon. I love that. I love that.
I love it. Oh, wait till you see what shirt I wear on the show tomorrow night, just to show what my role in the group is. But
oh my gosh,
for those that don't know, Bama Standard invited us to stream on their network on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Without any benefit to them. There wasn't like some stake in it. It was just like, hey, I want to help you guys out behind the scenes, but also on air. Whatever we can do to get more eyeballs on you with no benefit to them, no great thing. Just like, hey, here's something that I want to do to help you guys out because I like what you do. So we've had some good people in our corner, like at every step of this show. I think we mentioned them a lot, but you kind of go back to JB being the first podcaster I think we reached out to, talked to. Air Raid Mike has given us advice, but also, let's be honest, half the guests that we know right now, BJ and Randy and others have come from Air Raid Mike. Randy has helped shape, Randy comments kind of led to the summer series. So that helped out a lot too as well. DJ being the first person on the summer series. Big Mike, we always mention it.
Big Mike.
All the stuff he does behind the scenes. The Alpha Pools. People probably don't know their contributions, and we're not going to tell you because it's kind of giving some things away. But both of them, and then like I said, Bama Standard and Justin Riley have been really good. And I hate naming names because then there's somebody in there I forgot. But all these people have done stuff to shape our show, and they don't get enough credit.
And Justin Riley, Herb didn't say this, Justin Riley is also a power lifter, so we never want to make him mad because we're always worried that he might like physically,
toss us out a window
because he's a power lifter. I think in 1 year he was actually on the ESPN's World's Strongest Man competition. I don't think he placed well, but he's a big, strong guy.
They didn't let him on because he would embarrass the others.
Okay. It was. That's what I knew it. Yes. I knew it was something. I forgot what year it was, but yes. So watch out.
When you meet Justin in person too, you can instantly see it because Justin doesn't walk like this. Justin walks like this.
He walks like this. And he wears like
He's always just holding something. Sometimes it's just a brick, but he's just holding it. Like
sometimes a brick, sometimes a kettlebell, sometimes maybe a barbell. But he's
one time he was carrying a person. It was really weird, but Justin is that guy. So we appreciate you, Justin. Tribal Chief. So, Kat, this is kind of jumping the gun, but why not? Because we do what we want on this show. Let's take a look at what they got going on.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's do it.
And yes, definitely shout out to Kat. Kat is an institution unto herself.
Yes,
with how well she's known on all these programs, the support she gives. Kat, we love you, man. We always appreciate you. So I'm gonna text Big Mike because he definitely left us.
No.
So
he might be busy.
In August, we always do our previews. We usually do one that has to do with Big 12, ACC, Big 10, right? That's usually a week. Or maybe we split those up. Maybe we do ACC, Big 12, then we do a Big 10 conference preview, then we do an SEC preview, and then we do an Alabama preview. So somebody out of me, Rodg, Bama Beat, and Big Mike will do Texas A&M for a whole show and give you a breakdown. But because Kat asked the question, does A&M have a breakdown at the end of the season? They clearly start. The Notre Dame Auburn double, but there's a bye week in between that. You could easily see them winning both of those and being fine until they get to Florida. But you look at the end of that schedule, LSU at Arkansas could be tricky just because you never know what you're getting from Arkansas. LSU at Missouri, don't think they're going to be that good. Yeah,
South Carolina
could be good, and ending with Texas. What do you think? Do they fall apart at the end of the schedule, Rodg?
There's a good chance. I think they lose at LSU. I think they lose to South Carolina, and I think they lose to Texas. I think they win at Missouri. I think they'll pull that out somehow.
Okay.
So out of the last five, I say they go through 2 and 3.
Okay.
They win it. I think they win at Missouri and they beat Stanford.
Yeah. So He said, "Wouldn't mind if Tencent didn't start to impose restrictions." True.
Herb, what do you think Jimbo Fisher's doing right now?
Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So, I mean that. Rodg, if somebody paid me $75 million to walk away from the Herb and Rodg show,
bye.
Every day you saw me, I'd be like this.
Yes.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
How y'all doing? Like I would not sign for any jobs.
Like,
I wouldn't interview.
People would ask you like, how are you gonna do that to Rodg? You're like, trust me, Rodg is okay. Like I gave Rodg a couple dollars. He's good.
Yeah. I would dance out the office. They'd be like, Herb, you just got fired.
I'd be like, if I didn't leave, Rodg would be mad at me. So
yes. So I'd invest it back into the show and I'd make sure you were taking care of Rodg. But come on, $75 million. I think Jimbo Fisher is doing just fine.
Oh, wait. But you, after taking down the schedule, what did you think about that? Do you think they go 2-3? What do you like overall?
This looks like an 8-4 schedule to me.
Okay.
So I see that. I think somewhere in here they trip up Notre Dame, Auburn. Maybe they trip up one in there, right? Or we didn't mention Florida, but maybe they trip up against it. Those are home games. But I agree with you. I think they lose to LSU and I think they lose to Texas. So that's 10-2 is your tops for me.
Okay.
And then it just depends on do they trip up somewhere at one of these home games. But
yeah.
And again, look, before August, I'll take a little bit more. I'll look harder at their roster, see what I kind of think. Like I said, they're popping up here on certain lists already. We saw some lists where they were ranked higher than Alabama for the season. I don't think they're getting talked about enough.
Right.
If they were on our schedule, we'd probably get a Texas A&M person in here. Let's be honest. But I do agree with that. I don't think they get through the schedule, and I just expect them to lose a game they're not supposed to lose.
I agree. So,
let's catch up with our comments real quick. Shout out to Kat, man. You know she's beloved here. See, barbell in one hand, a whole chicken in the other. Yeah. And he still somehow does the podcast. So,
yes, you got to get your protein in, Justin. Yes, 1,000% agree.
Yeah. Justin would be carrying Steve and them because that's the only way you could get Steve and them to kind of do what he has to do behind the scenes. If you want to get Steve and them to a meeting on time, you better carry him there. That's all I'm saying. So. And Kat, you're just appreciated.
Yes, we appreciate you, Kat.
We did that. Exactly. Yep. She does, Mike.
She does know her ball. Yep.
Like I said, we appreciate you, Mike. Like I said, I enjoy the interaction. A lot of the folks that are our favorites are people that we interact with on X with.
Yes. And Mike, if you like what you see, share
Mike while you talk about this.
Share it with whoever you want to. Like, comment, subscribe on all the socials. Just let them know we're out here just trying to promote, trying to build, and we're doing a good job at it. So let them know if you like what you see. Looking forward to it. All
right, I just text Mike. What was the grade for the PLE today? So
okay, all right.
So finishing the running backs, we 4 I think is good, but there's a lot of potential for that group. And to a point that you made in the middle of it, Rodg, I don't think Alabama gets a 1,000-yard rusher. I know Jam is supposed to be your lead guy, but I just think so many guys will get carries, and that group is so versatile that I could see it spread out a lot, and people will get taken care of in that.
Yeah. So. No, I agree. And let's see. Last year, I think he had 668 yards. That's what I'm saying. He'll have 800-900 yards this year, but I don't think he'll get quite like 1,000 because our offense will be much more dynamic, and that ball is just going to be spread around much more than it was last year.
Yeah. Mike said C+ to a B for the PLE today. So.
Yes.
I didn't want to read this yet. So
I didn't either.
I've read this in certain other groups that we're in.
Yes.
But this is going to be very fun stuff.
I was high on the Justin. I was high. We were both agreed on the first one, Xavier, but weren't quite sure about CD exactly. But
I was one of our friends, Ricky,
I'm sorry.
is from that area where CD is from Alex City.
Awesome.
And he has been pretty confident the whole way just because he knows of him and knows of his family. Yeah. So the reason why I said Aaron Morgan was on my radar is because for a recruiting show that we did months ago, Ricky was the person that filled me in. So I've kind of been a little more confident as we went, but you know how it is, man. Your kid, you can change your mind at any moment, but him and his family's been high on Alabama. So
keep in mind, and we mentioned this earlier, Xavier Griffin commits tomorrow, 1:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sadarian Morgan is July 2nd. So within the next week or so, we should have a couple more 5 stars on the list. So So yeah, for those people who said DeBoer and his team cannot recruit in the South, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine.
Yep. B- but not a champions. Justin is the one that told me though that the show is worth rewatching. So I'm gonna find some time to catch up with it for sure.
I'll have to rewatch the Punk versus Cena thing. I think I saw something about it on Twitter, but I don't know. I haven't followed it too much. Yeah. So
I don't want to mention it yet. Then I haven't seen any spoilers, but now I just want to check it out because of what's been said.
Okay.
Kat, this has been one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things.
Yes. Husky Heart. Yeah.
Bo, who is a really good friend, one of my best friends, Auburn fan, who's usually spot on with his takes, Alabama, Auburn, whatever. The one thing he said to me before the board got here was like, he's going to be y'all's Harsin. I said, no, I don't agree with that. He's like, yo, watch. Yeah. I think, look, you can say what you want about a 9-4 record. That's a great starting record, okay? And then the way he's been recruiting was the way Harsin never recruited.
Yeah.
So, and what time does that start again?
That's what I was going to ask, Justin. What time does the Bama Standards commitment watch party start tomorrow? So we can all tune in.
Who's going to answer first, him or me?
I don't know.
Let's see. Scheduled tomorrow at 11:15.
Awesome.
So the watch party started at 11:15.
Yep.
Kat, this is a very underrated point that needs to be made. One thing when we were talking to Smoke, and I can't remember was that on here or was that on a phone conversation, but one thing he mentioned about Tennessee was not having a general manager through the whole Nico thing and how things fall apart. People do not realize in this day and age how this show is run. DeBoer has enough to do with coaching this team and getting them ready. He cannot be overseeing every recruiting thing.
Right.
You've got to have somebody in charge who insulates the coach from the demands of the family, of the player, who can allocate the money, and who can get deals done.
Agreed.
Courtney Morgan, it's like people forgot that we had a top 3 class last year in his first year. You know, we were number 3 last year.
Yep.
It's like people just thought, oh, that was just nothing. And then this year, with the recruits that you're getting, with the in-state inroads that you've made, and the chance not just for, like I said, a top class all time. Oh, yeah. Courtney Morgan is the man. Whatever they're paying him is probably not enough. So, I love it.
True. And 11:15 for the Bama Stand Network. So, again, if you're following us in the chat or wherever socials you're on, if you're watching the show right now, jump on the Bama Standard Network around 11:15. We'll probably give you a backstory or an update on recruiting, talk about the program, etc. But we're all going to be sitting and waiting for the Xavier Griffin commitment, which will start at probably 1:45. We're looking forward to it and cannot wait.
Yep. I agree, Kat. I think that's another underrated thing. Keeping the guys that are on your team is something that used to be a given. Hey, that guy is signed. He's going to be here 3 years. That's not a given anymore. Now it's like, hey, that guy signed. Will he still be here in December? Is the thing.
Yep.
Keeping who he's kept and recruiting who we've recruited has been huge. And another part of this, let's give kudos to guys like Ryan Williams, who have been heavy in the recruitment of the newer players. Sometimes guys don't like to do that. You know?
That's true.
I'm not going to recruit the guy that could take over for me, which, by the way, if you're Ryan Williams, you're probably very confident.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Rodg. You're probably making
that's huge on the recruiting trail because some of these younger guys want to talk to somebody who has things in common with them, especially around the same age group.
Right.
And they want to be honest with them. It's like, bro, like what is it like here? Is it cool? And they need to talk to someone who's level-headed and say, listen, I'm being honest with you. It's cool here. They got a good program, good facilities, etc. You will thrive here. We'll have some fun here, on and off the field, whatever. But this is the place to be. So they need to talk to somebody like that, as opposed to somebody who's just a recruiter and just tells them what they might want to hear.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. That's an excellent point. And I mentioned this on another show. A lot of times you like to bring back the legends and have them talk to the guys.
Right.
That's great.
Right.
But sometimes it's better for them to hear from somebody who they might actually play with. They're
exactly.
Like, hey, this guy is trying to recruit me, and he's going to be here next year, and I'm going to be right next to him.
Exactly.
That's powerful because that guy's like, look, man, I want you to come help me.
Yep.
That's an amazing tool. So
Yep. Agreed.
I agree, man. No, I love it too. The current players.
I do too.
I'm usually the guy who goes against the flashy players, right? A guy like Ryan Williams is usually the kind of guy I don't like because he's a little flashy and outspoken. Dude, I'm pulling for this kid so hard right now because, is he out here trash talking Vandy before the season? Yeah. But is he also dedicated to this team? Is he out here working with Devontae Smith, trying to make himself better? Man, I just love it. I love his commitment to the game. I love that. Yeah, he's got a great personality, right? He is trying to have fun. He's still a kid. Yeah. But you just feel like on the field, he's trying to get it done too as well.
Yeah. So, we see Ryan Williams on social media doing the TikTok dances and stuff like that. But again, to her point, other side is working out with Devontae Smith, and he wants to get better, and he wants to be the next great wide receiver. Well, he is the next great wide receiver at Bama, and he wants to lead us to another natty. So it's good to see him from him, and it's good to see him in the recruiting trail too, saying, "Hey, guy, Sadarian, come here next year, bro. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna have a good QB. We're gonna have a good receiving core. It's gonna be the place to be." So, with that being said, we're excited about the recruiting trail. We're excited about this next week or two, about some of the people we're gonna land. So looking forward to it. So stay on course through all the social medias. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears out, and just Bama football's in a really, really good place right now, and it's got a really, really good future. So looking forward to it. Yep.
I see 157 people in there. Come on into the chat, man.
Yeah,
come on and talk to us.
Say something.
Kat, you jumped ahead of where I was going to say, but this is what I was going to mention. He was on a show with Ryan, and he was talking to Coach Gruden, and Ryan Williams was going through his touchdown dances, and Horton says, "I'm just giving the ball to the ref.
I'm just giving the ball to the ref and keep it moving."
I don't know if I want to wear a Horton jersey or just a Horton shirt, but I got to show this man some love. Maybe at Tallahassee for the first game or just somewhere along the line. I got to get some Horton gear. I love this kid, man. I love that, and I love everything that he does. So. Yeah, I got to show him some love. Which, by the way, is a good question.
We still have to come up with a nickname for Isaiah Horton, and I mentioned this before. I don't think we ever came up with a nickname.
Horton, here's a who?
No, we're not doing that. That's so obvious and so lame. No, something better than that. No,
dang it, it's not as good as the Germinator.
Yeah,
don't say.
We got Hollywood. We got Hollywood, the Germinator,
and Isaiah.
A nickname.
Yeah, GHI.
Justin Riley, this is a task for the crew too at the Bama Center Network. What is going to be the nickname for Isaiah Horton? And
Isaiah Horton, IHHI. His name is Hi. Hi. So whenever he scores, we'll go Hi.
Okay, or just stop doing that. Oh my God.
I'm trying over here. I'm trying.
Yep.
Cowboys. So,
Good news. When are those commitment dates, though, man? Are they aligned?
I had a file up for it too. I know, so mad. There, House Call Horton. I like that better than anything I just said.
What is it?
House Call Horton.
Okay, not bad. All right, so Jair Edwards commits on July the 5th. So basically, in a week or no, we're gonna have a whole good a lot of guys in here.
Love that kid.
Yeah,
Horton is an elephant. See, Horton here's the who. Horton is an elephant.
We
talking about the Dallas Cowboys?
I don't know,
and I don't know which New York we're talking about. The Giants will not be competing anytime soon. The Cowboys, the way they're currently constructed, can always make noise. They will always be talented. They don't have the mental makeup or the owner to win a Super Bowl. That's how I feel. But we are going to
Horton, yes.
High is perfect. Yeah. See? Thank you.
Okay.
None of your business. Yes.
None of your business. Thank you. All right. Yes. House Call Horton. I think that's
I agree,
Herb coined the phrase House Call Horton. So we have Hollywood.
Herb did not do that. That was Bama standard.
Herb. Wait. HGH. Hollywood, Germinator, House Call. HGH. Yes.
So we try to get them arrested or kicked out of the sports.
Look, it's just gonna be on social media. Justin Riley, you've heard it here first. The wide receiver trio's nickname is gonna be HGH. They are gonna be so live, so amped up. Okay, sorry.
I don't even know. Yankees versus Buffaloes. Yankees versus the Bills. Because they're not talking about Colorado. I don't know where that one's going. Thank you, Kat. Justin Riley, a question we asked on a show. Was it a show or we were talking to somebody? If the Ravens don't win it all next year, or they have an early flame out, what does that mean for Harbaugh, and what does that mean for Lamar and his legacy? So, I don't think so either, Kat. I'm not thinking so. Yeah, me neither, Rodg. I have no idea. So, thank you for the extra comments, though.
HGH.
No, we're not. No.
What? Okay. All right. No. Whatever.
Whatever. Like I just had a bad day. Whatever.
Yeah.
No. But I got to get some Horton gear. Which, by the way, is another question for everybody out there. What are we wearing to this first game, and what are we going to see?
Yes,
if it's going to be hot, do I got to wear the slides and the Alabama?
We're going to wear shoes because we're going to be doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So shoes, sneakers, Alabama socks, Alabama Speedo, Alabama tank top.
Okay.
Let me just see. I'm on Amazon right now. Let's see. Alabama.
Please tell me you're not looking for Speedos.
Alabama.
No, he's typing it in.
Alabama Speedo. Let's see. Do they have any? This one has the rope. So it's funny. They get you one Speedo, and then they get you a pool ring, and then some swimming trunks.
Okay.
I don't know. So you might be in luck, Rodg, or you might be safe. There is no good Alabama Speedo. So
thank goodness.
House Call Horton t-shirts. Why might I do that? If I knew I could buy a shirt and it would go to him that said House Call Horton, I would do it because I want to reward that.
Yeah.
See? Alabama Speedo. I'm telling you, it's a thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Kat, that's what we got to decide. I was looking for a hat the other day. I sent a picture of it to Rodg, and Rodg said, hey.
Yeah, I was not fond of that hat. All right.
Anybody that's got any ideas, you can post it to us or send it us on Twitter. I got to get a new hat for the new season. And Rodg and I guess got to get a new shirt.
Yeah.
We're going to Tallahassee. We got to have new stuff.
I'll figure out my gear way before then. Yeah. So I'll be ready. Yep.
All right, Rodg. That's a lot of the Alabama stuff we wanted to cover. I hate even going into this. We kind of already talked about it with the NBA recap. The biggest story to me was Ace Bailey. Otherwise than that, it just didn't didn't matter. Borat with the Speedo. I mean, less hair, but telling you guys, I did a uniform change at South Carolina. So you might see me walk in with one thing and walk out with the tank top in there. So the only thing about the black gear is it's supposed to be hot as Hades in Tallahassee, probably in the middle of the day. So
it's probably gonna be like 93 or 94 or something like that. I don't know.
It's probably supposed to be like 93.5 or 94.5. So I don't know about that. But I definitely want to support them and Womack. So that's where I was kind of getting at too with the Womack thing. Is he driving the 3 stars? Is he, on defense to get 5 out of your 6 3 stars all on defense? Is this, somebody posed this question. I think Ephraim posted on another show. Like, do you think Womack, if we have a good year, do you think Womack gets another head coaching? He left a head coaching kid.
Yes. Yeah.
At South Alabama to come here. Is he gone after this year?
Just going to come. That's going to come in due time. A lot of these coaches and these coordinators, they will get, if we have a good and successful year, they're going to get more recognition across the country for other jobs. So it's going to happen. We saw it happen during Nick Saban and other previous coaches. So it's only going to come in due time. So we hope that we can keep them as long as we can to kind of win a couple of natties first. But, the more success the program brings, the more attention we're going to bring.
Yep. That's the biggest thing to me. If we lose these coaches, it's usually because we've had we're not going to go 6-6 and then lose these guys. So it means that you've had a good year. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm kind of stretching out the football stuff because our last topic is NBA draft, and I'm like, How about shout out to the Thunder? We did have a show on Tuesday, and we already talked about it a little bit, but shout out to the Thunder for winning the title. And your Lakers, Rodg, are y'all going to keep Austin Reeves? What is the face you're making? What is that face?
Sorry. My bad. Are we going to keep Austin Reeves? Yeah, I think he declined his option or whatever the case may be, but he wants to sign a bigger contract next summer. That's really it. I hope we keep Austin Reeves, but in today's world, it's kind of like we need him as our third or fourth best scorer, whatever the case may be. And we need him, even if we need him to come off the bench at some point. So we need to keep Austin Reeves. He's proven that he can score and get buckets and play good defense. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping the Lakers can do that. Are we going to win? Are the Lakers going to win the championship the next 1 or 2 years? No, we're not. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So just be honest.
All right, folks, we're not going to spend too much time on that. We've enjoyed the football talk. We'll quickly do our last one real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Any final questions anybody has, please post them. But it's about time for us to get out. Do you have one more shot in here? Are you done for the night?
I'm good. I'm finito, okay. Benito.
Okay. I'm going to take my last
one. Wait. All right.
I'll make it a small one, though, but we ought to roll Tide. We appreciate everybody, too, for stopping by. Saturday night has been a lot of fun.
Too much fun. Not just a lot, but too much.
Yeah. Honestly, not sure. So we have like 24 hours to choose what we're doing on Tuesday, and we haven't decided yet. So this shot is for us deciding what we're doing on Tuesday. Love y'all.
Tuesday.
Roll Tide. And we are very heavily reliant on comments. So we just always want to say we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you guys. Yes, that's true. That's true.
For sure. You guys help us get us through the show. So football wise, we'll see next Saturday. Like I said, I'll have family in town, so that show could get a little crazy. We'll see. The week after, I don't know if we'll have a Saturday show because I leave that Sunday after, so we got to figure out what's going on there.
Okay.
Other than that, like I said, we got a fun month. We have 2 open days we got to figure out, and then we've got Vandy, we've got Florida State to end the month, and we've got Auburn. So those will be some fun ones to talk about for the end of the month. I think that's really it. We don't know if we'll continue to go through the list, but running back and Oline, that's huge for us. So wide receiver, we had the number 2 group, and then running back, the number 4 group, Oline, the number 4 group. I doubt we show up on the tight end list because we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect
right now. Yeah. Am I right that we have like 8 tight ends now on the roster?
We got a couple on the roster. Just I don't know how much they're going to get utilized throughout the season. So
yeah, and then we had a lot of injuries, so we end up having to recruit 2 more. So that just tells you a lot about what's kind of going on there. So we'll see how that goes. Rodg, be honest? Did you care about the NBA draft other than us being on the show?
Not really. Honestly, not really at all. I knew that the Mavs would take flag at 1 unless they did something crazy. Knew Harper and Bailey would get in there pretty early. Other than that, I wasn't too familiar with I was familiar with the Duke guys and some other guys. Of course, was looking to see what happened to Sears and Nelson. Sears signed a 2-way contract with the Bucks.
That's an interesting one because of the Dame injury.
Yes.
What
So
are they trying to do?
He can kind of figure out some playing time there. And Nelson signed a deal with the Brooklyn Nets. So good. And Cliff signed with
the Raptors.
The Raptors. You're right.
He's going to Toronto. So let's take him in order. Sears is interesting because of the Dame injury, and they are more of a we got to win now to save Giannis, right? You get a senior guard in Sears. Yes, he has his limitations, but he duplicates a lot of what you get from Dame already. So maybe without the creativity of shot making, but you there is an opportunity if he was going to land on the team that was trying to win now, that was a team to land on. So that's good, right?
Yes.
For Nelson, a little undersized, right? But if you're going to try and make your way, the Nets drafted like 5 point guards or something in this past draft. Right. So as a kind of a tweener forward, if he can improve his percentages on 3-pointers, he's got a chance there. But he offers decent rim protection. He's kind of the guy that you might see floating around for years. especially if he can put on a little muscle, right?
Yes, agreed.
And Cliff, I was just underwhelmed with Cliff. I expected more physicality out of him, and I don't think we saw that until later on in the tournament. So there's a chance in Toronto. They're still kind of mid rebuild, so you've got a chance to make that roster. So good landing spots for all three.
Agreed.
I think it's half and half. I think Castellanos has. First of all, I don't get his comments. Why would you even come out and poke the bear when nothing?
I feel like he just wanted to get some attention, and now some of his teammates are like, "Okay, I guess we got to back this crap up."
Right. Which, by the way, is always dumb as a quarterback because you're taking the hits. Look, if your offensive lineman starts talking trash, the guy's gonna run by him and go hit the quarterback. So
right.
Oh, I didn't see that yet, Kat. That's just I think everybody likes to try and take down Alabama, but they don't realize what they're getting themselves into. Florida State was not good, and you're not going to just shoot to the top. Plus, if I'm Florida State, I look at the last time these two teams started off the season.
Number 1 versus number 3.
And it took you guys like 4 or 5 years to recover from that. I wouldn't be in a hurry for that one. So that's crazy to me. So I'll have to check out that. But looking forward to Florida State at the end of July.
Yes.
We can make sure that gets locked down. That'll be a fun show as well. So
agreed.
I don't get them at all. Good landing spots for the Alabama guys. So that's fun. Looking forward to that. Rodg, final thoughts. You good to go?
I'm good to go, man. I'm just excited about recruiting. Looking forward to see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes our way, and we'll be on social media to kind of figure out, who to turn into, but when to turn into, and seeing what happens to Xavier Griffin. So shout out to Xavier Griffin and the family. Roll Tide. So
roll Tide, everybody. You got a couple of networks to check out tomorrow to see what's going with them. Rodg, this was fun tonight, man.
I loved it. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Everybody have a good night. See us Tuesday night. Like I said, Talking Bama's tomorrow night at 7:00.
Yep.
Then opening kick is Monday, 7:00, and then you'll see the Bama Standard flagship show at 6:00 on Monday, and then you will see us at 8:00 Monday, all time Central. Tuesday night, 6:00 Bama Standard flagship show, 8:00 us. See, this is
a lot.
The end of the show is always bad because of how much we've had to drink throughout the day.
I know.
When we get to this point, but we will see you guys. We appreciate you. This is the best comment to end on.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Kenneth Darby will be on Bama Standard. Yep. No, that's a great one. Love that. That'll be a fun show as well. I always hate following them because after you come off that and you see the Bama Standard, you see Ken Darby, then you have to look at these two bugs. But love you guys. Everyone have a wonderful night. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.